Hi, it's Matt and Gadget, and today we're taking a look at the Nokia Lumia 820. Now this is the second Windows Phone 8 device from Nokia, and flipping it open you can see a pretty familiar live tile display there. Now let's take a closer look at the hardware here. This one's got a yellow matte finish, and this case itself actually includes wireless charging inside it, and it's all a bit thinner than what we saw on the Lumia 920. It's still got an 8 megapixel sensor, this time with a LED flash and a Carl Zeiss lens, but there's no optical image stabilization there. Moving back to the front, above that 4.3-inch screen, there's actually a VGA front-facing camera there, so it's a little bit low resolution, but should be enough for some grainy video chat. There's also the earpiece there. Now turning on the screen, this is actually an 800 by 480 resolution display, and it's AMOLED tech. As you can probably see, the blacks look pretty bright there. And below that, you have the 3 capacitive buttons. Now these are super sensitive, like those found on the Lumia 920, so you'll be able to use them with both your nails and your gloves, and they function like you've seen on other Windows phones already. Now along the bottom edge there you'll find the micro USB port, unfortunately not MHL compatible, and a single loudspeaker, which is pretty loud once you get it going with music. On the right edge you'll have the 3 physical buttons. On the right there, the camera button, which launches into the camera app. Again, it's a half press for focus, a full press to take the photo, and it's a little bit oversensitive. Then the power button and the volume rocker. On the top edge, all we really see there is the headphone socket. Now next up, we've included a sample video from the Lumia 820. This is recorded at 720p. As you can tell, it's a pretty crisp video. Color reproduction is pretty nice. Unfortunately, it doesn't house the optical image stabilization, which made the Lumia 920 such a great little camera phone. So as you can tell, there's a bit of vibrations there. It's a little bit wobbly. You can check out our still samples in the full review, but we were pretty impressed with what we saw here. Although the camera isn't top end like the Lumia 920, we found low light photography was pretty good on the sensor. Again, that very powerful flash helps light up things that do require extra lighting. It's not as good as the Lumia 920 admittedly, but it's a pretty capable camera for a mid-range phone. Moving into software, you'll find the highlights here are very similar to what we've already noted in our Lumia 920 review. If we hop into maps here, you'll find them just as responsive as on the more expensive phone. Again, you have the ability to download a whole country's worth of apps, meaning you'll be able to use them abroad without any data woes. And thanks to that Snapdragon S4 processor and a gig of RAM, they're super responsive. Likewise is task management. Another highlight is Internet Explorer 10, which offered up some superb SunSpider scores in our benchmarking. As you might be able to see here, Windows Phone's Internet Explorer has an odd way of passing the headlines, which often appear a lot bigger than they do on their true desktop counterpart. But the screen generally, especially lengthways, displays the sites well. Pinch to zoom is very responsive, as is scrolling, and we can highlight text, copy and paste quite easily. As you'll probably be able to see here, at this lower resolution, unfortunately the text does get a little bit grainy if that's what you're concentrating on. And it has that inevitable AMOLED hue of a bluish green tint to the whites, which is a little bit off-putting, given that we've already seen the likes of the Clearview HD Plus on the Lumia 920. Now, something that we weren't able to review on the Lumia 920 because it actually hadn't been released yet is the SkyDrive app, which has now been updated with Windows Phone 8. And it also has dealt with a lot of the frustrations we found when we were first reviewing the Lumia 920, namely sharing files both from and to your SkyDrive account. Although there was a drop-down menu offering in the Lumia 920, with the app itself, it's a lot easier and a lot less frustrating to share your pictures and other files. Now, the Lumia 820 actually does beat out the bigger 920 in a few things. The screen actually has a better viewing angle thanks to the AMOLED tech. And inside, you actually found micro SD storage, which is expandable up to 64 gigabytes, besting what you get on the 920 storage-wise. However, for the price you have to pay extra, we really find it hard to recommend this phone when it's only $50 less than the US version of the 920 and £60 less than the off-contract version in the UK. Now, the Lumia 820 is out now on AT&T, priced at $50 on contract, and it's also available in the UK across several networks, priced depending on contract, and also off-contract at £380. Check out our full review at engadget.com, and thanks for watching.